Hi, Ginger Cook here, and tonight we're going to be painting a shaggy dog in acrylic paints, and this is going to be fun and easy. I'm going to show you a simple trick on how to do dogs, and this applies to just all kinds of fur besides this marvelous little shaggy dog we're going to paint called Oscar. You're going to love it. I'll see you in a few.
And now, without further ado, I have the distinguished honor and privilege of presenting to you the Queen of Color, the Mother of Artists, globally acclaimed, award-winning master acrylic artist, and the star of our show, Ginger Cook, as she once again mesmerizes her audience with the daring do's and don'ts of painting with acrylics.
Okay, so a lot of times people will want to paint their own pet, and they want to know a good way to do it. I'm going to show you a good way to paint your dog tonight. And we're inspired by a man who was painting dogs in the middle 1800s, and he was just a master at dog painting, Sir Edwin Landseer. And we're going to paint his shaggy dog, and as we paint along, we'll have some great tips on how you can maybe take this information and perhaps translate it into a dog you own or a pet you own, or maybe a dog someone else's that they'd like to paint. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you the picture, and then we're going to show you how to transfer a photo onto the canvas, all right? And I want to say right away, I'm sorry, it's actually 9 by 12, not 8 by 10.
My mistake.
John's mistake. We're going to all blame him. Boo,
Boo.
John, boo. All right, so let's go down to the...
And we're late because of me, too.
Yeah, John forgot to push another button.
No, I was doing dishes, too.
So,
being a sock folder, you can't leave dishes dirty before you do a show.
Yeah, it was dishes. It was a button, not push. Sorry if you had to wait. All right, so here's our doggy. Isn't he adorable? His name's Oscar. He was originally painted just around the middle 1800s. And he was part of a study that this is actually called study, and it's a dog study of just his head, because this is actually, I sent John the picture, we'll show it to you later this evening. The entire painting was, I don't know, like 6 or 8, 10 dogs are sitting around, doing doggy things like people, and it was really cute. So anyway, I'll show you that. In the meantime, your traceable is on our Pinterest board, 2019 YouTube, Ginger Cook Live, all one word on Pinterest. And then you can find this dog picture, just print it out, any size you want, really. And then go ahead and I'll show you how to trace him on. So we start off with and hey, welcome everybody to we sort of start off with a welcome. Thanks for coming.
You're supposed to thank him. First thing you do is thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Yeah.
Give us a thumbs up.
Give us a thumbs up.
If you like us, even if you don't like us, thumbs downs do count as interaction. We'll take them as well.
Okay,
we
really?
don't care.
We don't care?
Mm-mm.
I would think we'd care. You hurt my feelings. If you want to hurt my feelings, go ahead. Some guy just the other day wrote me and said, you know what? That golf course you painted last week just isn't for me. And I said, awesome. Then don't paint it. There you go. Don't paint it. If dogs aren't for you, don't paint it. But you know what? You might still learn something about painting. So why not watch anyway, even if dogs aren't your thing? Though I can't imagine why they wouldn't be. So anyway, hi to the moderators too. Who's on first? We're doing this as a live presentation, so we have moderators that read the chat. If you're watching this as in a couple of days after this is aired, the chat can be as entertaining as anything else going on the show. So be sure to read the chat.
We have Luann.
Hi, Luann.
Steffi Jane is back among the wrench people, and so is Miss Judy.
Hey, Judy. All right. Listen.
And, of course, Sammy is always around.
And, of course, you guys know Judy. She's the gal that sings at the end of all our shows. So she wrote that song and sings it. So when you hear that at the end of the show, that's Judy.
Give her kudos.
Hoo-hoo. Yay.
Hoo-hoo.
So also, she's the one that organizes the Pinterest board. So if it doesn't look right, talk to her. Not my fault. All right. So here's Oscar. Here's our 9 by 12. It's just burnt umber, dark canvas, burnt umber. Yeah. On a dark canvas, totally dry. And I wanted to say that, you guys all know that you can get Sorel transfer paper in these normally in these little sheet packages of like 5 colors, right? And we have that in our Amazon affiliate store. Gingercooklive.gallery/Amazon will take you right there. But you can also buy it in rolls, and you can use this transfer paper over and over again. So if you're doing something large, that might be the way to do it. And again, you can use it over and over again. I have found that 99% of the time I just need a little piece of it. But again, probably if you were going to buy a large one, I would say yellow's a good color because you could probably still see it on white. It comes in all the colors: blue, white, gray, yellow, and red. So there you go. So that's the first thing we're gonna transfer him on. And if we have any questions going on right now while I'm doing that, we can.
Somebody needs to read that and do this and do that.
John's pointing in all directions, going, what do you want me to do here? Well, John, I don't know. Oh, first off, just check and make sure that the transfer paper works, right?
It better. It's brand new. I just opened it.
It does, but that doesn't necessarily mean diddly squat.
That's
right?
true.
Because sometimes you have a surface that maybe it's a little slick, or
we run into that
sometimes
recently.
if there's a lot of paint on your surface, believe it or not, for instance, if you've done a lot of texture and it's very thick, it's not the bumps, but sometimes it doesn't like thick textured paint. So just test it first. It just it doesn't hurt, right? Just be rather safe than sorry that it works.
You'd be very upset if you did that whole thing and all of a sudden realize it's not there.
All right, so we're gonna definitely show you this, and this is also going to be part of the tools. John and I are starting a new section on our website, which will be available shortly. And in it is going to be a section called Tools. So for those of you who can't remember how to do these things, we're going to have, that are Academy members, we're going to have like 10-minute segments, like how to make transfer paper work, that kind of stuff. Little 10-minute video. So he's going to just sort of clip it out of this one to show you how it works. What?
Maureen says, Ginger John, I just received my t-shirt from the Teespring store. I love it, great quality, and of course, super painting of Taz of the Tiger.
You got a Taz.
We didn't get a Taz yet, did we?
We didn't get our Taz yet. Did we order Taz?
No,
well,
we didn't have time.
It takes a while to get those, and so we're leaving tomorrow. Leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when we'll.
We're not a singing channel.
We're not.
Don't think you are.
Okay, so this is him, and this is him, and I'm thinking I'm going to go with this him, the yellow one. Maybe you can see it easier.
That's why I gave you both.
He gave me both, and I think you can see it easier.
That is the original painting that we have, which I can't believe that's the real colors.
Well, I mean, you got to understand that they did not have
the flavors we have.
Stabilized paint. In fact, there's a really good book I encourage all of you to read. It's called The History of the Color Palette by Victoria Finley. Cinnamon's been talking about it on her channel, and she and I discovered that, 20 years ago, or maybe it's an older book. But Cinnamon read it, and it's so interesting, and you'll often hear me quote from it. But one of the things that they were talking about in okay, so you ever have a friend that cooks and you ask her, well, how did you make that? Sorry, it's family recipe, not talking. That's how a lot of artists felt about their paints, how they made paint. Back in the mid-1800s, they were still making their own paint. They weren't buying it yet. They just started to come in. By the time, another 20 years, they were making, you could buy it. But at that time, it was closely guarded secret. So you went to an art school, picked an art master, not just based on, how talented the school was, but on their paint recipes. And for instance, the Dutch had colors that they weren't sharing with anybody else, that kind of thing, right? And I read in Victoria Finley's book, Victoria Finley, the History of the Color Palette, that's the book. I read in the book that she was saying that in England at the time, that whoever had figured out how to make varnish had died, hadn't shared it. Apparently he was selling it, hadn't shared it. And the paintings, the people were trying to do it themselves, the other artists, and the paintings were turning black. And they said there was a real emergency, and there was sort of a call for some sort of unity as far as how you made stuff, okay? And so a lot of times, I think when you look at old paintings, they not even been the colors any more than the Sistine Chapel, when they started restoring it, was the original colors that was painted originally, because it had all faded and got full of soot. So you can't, paint's faded, that kind of thing. So anyway, that being said, we're going to continue on. You see how I kind of taped this down? I'm going to do one more test, yes and yes. The first thing, when you're painting a dog portrait, make sure that you've got a good perspective on the dog. And the other thing is that when you're tracing it on, try to do it fairly large. Don't do a tiny head on a big canvas. Try to take up as much of the canvas as you can if you're doing a portrait, and focus on the eyes and the nose. That's the key. Get those right. So I'm going to put my glasses on here, and I'm going
to... Kathleen Pratt says, thanks, Ginger, for the pack today. National Dog Day, and it was my dog Buster.
Really? That was your dog?
We knew it was National Dog Day.
We didn't know.
No, we did. We always know these things.
We don't know. No
Chester
kidding.
told us it was.
Wow, national. Well, that was a cute dog, and she had gone Kathleen had done a very good job on that dog. We did a personal art coaching for her, and I made some suggestions. And again, I'm going to say this again. I'll tell you what, we've got a lot of our Academy members and Facebook Club members that are not Academy members, but they're acrylic artists, and they do pretty good painting dog portraits for other people.
They got little business going.
They get little businesses going. So learning how to do this, there's nothing wrong with learning how to do this. And the other thing too is if you have a pet, maybe you have a cat, and the veterinarian's expensive, and drop off a little painting of a dog to the vet. Maybe your bill will be a little bit less next time. I'm a barter person. Do you like barter? Yeah. So it never hurts, not to have it imply ulterior motives, but just saying.
Just options. Options are available.
Options
Sue
are
Clark
available.
Got a Taz on a black long sleeve T-shirt and says it's phenomenal.
Wow. Well, I hope you send us a picture of it on our Facebook Club. We'd love to see it. I mean, if you feel a little shy about wearing it, we'd love to see it.
Sissy would like to know, why is Ginger's ring finger showing a red band?
Ginger's ring finger got all infected. I got something underneath there, some chemical I was doing with the acrylics. I don't know which one it was, because they've had that ring for like over a year, and somehow it got under there, and it made it all red, and I've got to let it totally heal before I can put my ring back on. Oh, bad me. It just didn't realize that it gotten to that point. Poor me.
Donna says, John, when I look for the ODG, there are many, many, many. How do I know which one is the original?
You don't, and you don't, and because there's so many, and there's so many different paintings of it. And here's the thing, because it's these, like you go to a print company, they just copy them, and then they have their artists paint them and all that stuff, and their computers paint them and kind of weird stuff. You can't.
You just don't know.
You just don't know unless you were in a museum or something and saw it. It's hard to say that but you get an idea of it. You don't have to listen. We're not trying to be forgers. If we're going to take up forging, let's counterfeit money where the real deal is. Right?
Yeah, let's go for the presidents instead.
Let's not screw around with dogs, right?
Who's ever seen dog money?
That's no dog money, right? So that being said, then just take what you like from it, and then enhance it, maybe make it your own a little bit, and have fun with it.
Pat the dog, is he still around, or did we sell him? No, he's not sold. He's mine. But he's under lock and key somewhere.
What?
Pat the dog.
Oh, you mean the dog
painting.
did it?
No, the actual painting.
Oh, where's
People
that?
bring that up. Chester had it last, and I'm not sure where he put it. It was in his dog house. I don't know. I don't know now.
Where is Pat the dog?
I don't know.
He says he doesn't know. He's whispering that to me. He doesn't want you guys to know that he doesn't know, right? All right, so I'm being
Barbara doesn't paint with her wedding rings on.
Well, you know what? I probably shouldn't, but you know what? I did. So
there.
Bad me, right? That might have happened when I was cleaning house.
Hard to know. This once in a lifetime.
Unlikely,
but possible.
Possible. We don't know. But all things heal. It'll be fine, and then the ring will go back on. I sort of preempted it. I put it on last night, and it was almost healed, and it was not the thing to do. Okay, so, all right, so we've got, there we go. So here's our doggies. And I think that's really, honestly, you could do this if you wanted, but that's really all you need to do. Isn't this amazingly fun? So all you need to do.
Watching you trace on a dog? Yes.
Well, I don't mean that. I just mean the whole idea that you can trace the dog on. And I tell you what, when you don't, the biggest problem I have with people in personal art coaching of their pets is they didn't bother to trace or grit it on, and then their dog's all off, and then they wonder what happened. Just look, if you need a bigger picture than your traceable, pop that down to Quick Copy and it's your own picture, it's your own photograph, and those nice little kids down there, just get a black and white one. You probably get it 30 by 40 for about $5. Just make a bigger copy of it, and then trace that on. Take 4 pieces of transfer paper, or use the stuff, right? Or just use chalk on the back of it, make your own. All right, so now I think I'd like to add this to our sheets, John, in the Sorel, because I think this would fit in our bag, right? Because normally I would roll this back up and put it on the and put it back on the roll, but I'm not going to do that. Because remember, you can use this transfer paper over and over again.
Thousands of times.
Thousands of times. So there he is, right?
Can I have the pap?
Here's that. So John will just put it back in the thing here. All right. So, what? He's writing things like this side up. He loves to write this side up in case I get confused.
Not saying anything, my queen.
You don't have to say anything. You're just sitting there writing things. Everyone will know, right? You're just writing stuff, John. So. I'm
writing a letter.
Yeah. Yeah. Incidentally, while I'm putting out the paint, I want to show you something. This same artist, also, this is an Academy lesson. This is Trouble. This was done by the same original artist, Lancier. Isn't he adorable? And I've seen him huge. Some of our Academy members have made him huge. The guy just really gets the eyes of dogs, doesn't he? This sort of expression. He's famous for that. And I'll show you one more when the evening progresses, but I want to put out some paint now.
Oh.
And as we're doing this, John wants to... Do you think they need to see every drop of paint on the palette put out, John? Or just,
hey,
do you think that's it?
I spoil our fans.
Apparently so,
That's
right? All right,
job.
This is ultramarine blue. I don't know if I'm even wanting it, so you might want to wait and see if I use it before you put it out, right?
So in other words, don't follow along right now.
Well, I'm just saying, I know that certain colors, like yellow, we're going to use for sure. And we'll use those colors, and it'll be fine. So anyway, I'm so glad you guys got the packs. We had... John and I are flying out at in the middle of the night tomorrow, and so we've been badly doing laundry and packing and
40,000 lessons
weighing everything. And you can't believe how many lessons had to be compiled for the length of this trip. And this Friday, mark it on your calendar at 7:30. We are going to put up 7:30 Central Time. We're going to do a premiere.
Okay, now she says this, you realize we'll be in China, which will make it Saturday at about 4 o'clock in the morning. And we'll see what shows up for this.
Well, maybe the gals will just be on there. Our moderators will do it. But I think you guys are all used to this time. But it's a 20-minute video on all the fantastic lessons that are coming up for YouTube for the next 6 weeks and for Academy. You won't believe what's it. We are so organized. You're going to be so impressed. So if you want to catch that, our preview, I think it's going to be really fun. And I don't know. We'll post the times. We'll have a newsletter by then, which will have some of our travel videos on it. Yes, surely by Friday.
Oh, surely. I'm not doing anything. We're losing a day as we travel. You realize that, right?
I don't know. I don't understand this. We're losing a day as we travel. I have the same day.
But the rest of the world shifted on you.
Really?
Yeah.
I never understood that.
I know. It's time travel.
Just time travel. Yeah. But that's yellow oxide, in case you were wondering. So what does that mean for me, John?
That means you'll probably be asleep, and I'll have to be up there entertaining the fans.
Well, see, there you go. I'll get up for you. I will get up for you. I spent a lot of...
We have 348 witnesses.
Yeah, okay. Hey, everybody. Welcome. So, anyway, we wanted to have, if you're a newsletter person, I mean, if you want to know what we're doing, what we're up to, John's going to be shooting little videos, and we'll put them up in our newsletter, and then won't be on this YouTube channel, probably on the Tech Bear channel is where we'll post them. But the video will give you little links, and so we'll make little short videos of what we're doing, so you can kind of travel with us. We thought we'd just take you along if you want to come. Just thought that would be fun, and again, love to have you join us. And I've never been to China before, and I haven't been to Japan in years since I think I was 22 when I first went to Japan.
Well, this is a couple years ago.
I know. So Anyhow, we're going to be doing that stuff. It's good for us, yes?
Absolutely.
So, I think I'm putting stuff all in the wrong place. I'm going to have to just move the tags around. This is burnt umber, though. I'm pretty sure I'm safe if I do that
well,
here.
CAD looks right. The oxide looks right.
Burnt sienna's here, and this I want Australian sienna. Let me just do that. I don't know. You just Australian sienna's going to go here, and the oxide's going to go there. You can just guess.
It's no big deal.
It's no big deal. You could just guess. Couldn't you just guess?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And what else we got? Oh yeah, some sort of white paint.
Tonight we'll be giving away 2 downloadables so far. That's what we had in donations come in during the week.
So 2 downloadable lessons tonight for those of you who want to enter our contest.
And I'm working on the form even as we speak.
You know, so there's the rest of the white paint. Dazzling purple, I think we said. Why would we want purple if we're doing a gold dog?
Yeah, why
Anybody
would
guess? So why on earth would we put out purple?
I know. Remember that?
Yeah. But you ask yourself that. Think about that, and think about the color wheel. What is opposite yellow on the color wheal?
I don't know. I don't have a color wheel.
It's purple. I don't have a color wheel at this second.
I can see it from here.
Oh well, fine. Here it is, and if you look at purple, it's right across from yellow. Okay, there's yellow.
And there's purple.
And there's purple. Okay, and so when you add a little tiny bit, they're called complementary colors. So, and you've heard me say this before, but you've got to bear with me in that some people have never heard this. So we're saying it for them. If you already know this, then just be glad we're repeating it. Maybe you forgot, right? So, but basically, when you take a tiny bit, like 2 or 3% of its opposite, like its complementary color, or the opposite of the color on the color wheel, a little bit of red into green, green into red, so forth, you tone it down a bit. You kind of turn the color off. It's like dialing down the color. Yeah, there you go. You can dial it down. And if you mix it too much, then you get mud. If you get too much. So therefore, if you're painting flowers, for instance, and you have a green background, and then you plop a red flower on wet green, and your flower goes all muddy, and you don't understand what happened. That's what happened. People always say, when do you know when to dry, and when not? And you always dry if you're going to introduce a complementary color on top of its counterpart, its wet one. Okay, if it's wet and it's going to complementary color, unless you deliberately are trying to gray that color, which you might be. You might be, you might be deliberately trying to gray the color. Now I think I had one more: yellow oxide, cad yellow medium, burnt sienna, Australian sienna. Yeah, that's an interesting color. That's either that's either Golden's Azo Gold, or you can use Australian sienna. If I had any, I'd put it out. I think I was going to use that too.
Gwen would like to know, is Indian yellow the same as Australian sienna?
No.
What can be used instead of Australia sienna?
Azo Gold, Golden Azo Gold, because it's a translucent color.
Yeah, it's a very translucent color. It's a
pretty very translucent color.
You
could do some glazing too, with some yellows and just glaze. You don't have to have that color. It's just not. It's just one of those things. Sometimes it's just, something's just nice. Does that make sense? It's just nice. Now, one thing I think I will put up here. That's burnt umber. Let's see, where are all our colors going? Have we never put anything back? What are you? Okay, so here's quinacridone gold. All right, that's by Golden, and I'll show you. It's almost the same thing as Australian sienna.
That is, who is that really by? Holbein, you say?
Oh, that's Holbein's. Oh, Holbein. Yeah, Holbein makes that. Azo Gold by Golden. Yeah, thanks. All right, so that's that color, and I'll show you. It looks almost identical to burnt sienna, but it's very translucent. Okay, so it can be very effective, right? So I had some of that there. I knew I had some of this somewhere. Let's see, what else we got? Let's see, I think we're still looking for cad red, aren't we?
You don't have any out there yet.
I didn't put the sticker out there either, and we definitely want that. Well, we should put that out then, I say. Cad red medium.
I gotta update the stickers.
Well, I have some stickers. I have this whole sheet of stickers. Let's find the cad red. Where'd that go? Cad yellow, cad something or other. Where's cad red? Here. All right, so here's a sticker for that.
Definitely gonna do it differently.
We can do it differently, but you guys just use your imagination. You got it. We gave you some stickers, right? There, cad red, and I think Well, that's all I got here. Australian sienna. So this is kind of that color, though this one is not that, but it's kind of that color, right? It's kind of
So we're
that
gonna
color.
lie.
It's kind of in those.
So
That's
you have
that
two
color
Australian
range.
sienna stickers out there?
Oh yeah, if you like those stickers, those are just address labels, and if just write us, and we're happy to give you the template for that, and then you just buy the stickers at Amazon, and you're good to go. So I started to do something clever here before I got sidetracked. One of the things you want to do is take a moment and really, we want to focus on these eyes, and we want to get those before we do another thing on this painting. Okay. Why is that? Oh, wrong pencil.
I was
Okay.
wondering why you were using black.
I don't know, grab the wrong one, here. So what I want to do is just outline these again, all right? I want to outline those again while I still see them, okay? Because that chalk is pretty small. So I want to make sure that I've got that outline. If you're not sure about this, get your nose, just take a, just go over what you've got if you feel like you might be losing some of it, your drawing. Yeah, there's his little mouth. I mean, there's not a lot to this, but I don't think it hurts to just, kind of put the dog back, yes? Yeah, did that help you a little bit? Okay, so we'll start off with the eyes, and that means a little tiny brush. Do we have any questions while we're doing that?
Questions. The only question I saw running by was Zoe wanted to know, are Americans being treated well as we travel? Do we have any problems? Are they still being welcomed in most countries? I recall a time it was best to say that you were Canadian.
Well, it's always better to say you're Canadian. Everybody loves the Canadians.
They don't do anything. They don't get in trouble. They behave themselves. Yeah.
Everybody likes them. Well, quite frankly, I don't know. I've just figured that.
I can't say we've ever had any problems.
We've always been doing okay. We're always nice to people. People seem to be nice to us. We like everybody. Doesn't really matter where you're from. We still like you.
We're all people.
John and I and I think we project that. I think we absolutely project that. So I'm going to take a little bit of ultramarine blue and burnt umber, and I'm going to mix those together. The first thing I'm going to do is put in this dark eye right here. Okay, right there like that. I'm going to put in that dark eye. That's slightly darker than my background. And I'm going to do that on the nose too. I'm just going to put that in on the nose, this part, okay? So that nose is in there. And then I'm just going to take a little bit of yellow oxide and just a little bit of burnt sienna. And my brush is still dirty, and I want to come up here like this and just sort of put in the top of this dog's nose, okay? And this is kind of a good color. Maybe I'll put a little of this under here, like that. A little bit under his eye, like that. Sometimes you start with your darker colors first and work your way forward. That's how you kind of do acrylics. Here's a little yellow and cad red medium. I haven't cleaned the brush yet, but a little more yellow than cad red medium. I want kind of an orange color. A little yellow oxide in that. Now, I might just come up here on the outside of this and just add some of this color on the ears, just because I know I'm going to have some of it. And just come around like that and just put a little bit of this color. Now notice that the brush strokes are pretty just loose. We're not doing a lot of brush strokes here. Then maybe just coming in here like that and doing that. Here, just get a little paint like this. Practice this. Okay, and then I'll take a little bit of that color, and then right under the nose here, on this side of the nose, I'll put it. That's this little shadow part on the nose, like this. And a little bit on this side too. Okay. So you just put in these little bits of color, yeah, and keep adding. You're going to keep adding to it. Let's take a little bit of a burnt sienna, yellow oxide, mix that together. That's a nice brown. Let's come on up here like this and just do some. You can allow some of your underpainting to be your fourth color, or fifth, or whatever it is, your last dark color. I want to come this way with that and say over here like this. A little bit of burnt sienna, yellow oxide, Mix that together. And I've got some darker colors here and here like that. Here, let's come around his face like this. Going to brighten this up. This is interesting because it's, acrylics, sometimes your first layer isn't as effective. Let's put a little bit of this color right up here too. On here on his eye, like that. Right, like that. So you see how we're sort of building him up a little bit. Maybe right under the mouth here, I'll put a little of this color right here, just under the mouth. Because the mouth is going to be this little dark, it's just not too much on the mouth, but there you go. Now, you could take a little bit of white on your brush and then do like that and just kind of make sure that it's, brush is still dirty, okay? Now I want to come around the eye, and even though I have not dried it, I'm going to very carefully put the light around his eye. Okay? That's key. Get that light around the eye like that. And it looks a
You're
little.
using the Ruby Satin 3/8 right now?
Yeah, quarter inch.
Quarter inch.
Quarter inch Ruby Satin, quarter inch, and I'm going to do come up here like that, and say that there's a little bit of a. See, my brush is dirty. It's not real white. Do you see that? So I can do that. And both the brush strokes on his eye are going this direction, which makes it makes him frowning, sort of. A little bit of light right there makes him look like he's frowning just from that. Just from doing that, these little frowny brush strokes. See, like that indicates frowning, kind of frowning, and then he's going to have some bigger ones coming out that way. So let's take a little bit of this kind of red color, and right about here next to it, this eye, we're going to go right here and we're going to do like a half circle, like a parentheses maybe. A little bit of this color up here. I'm taking a little bit more time with the color right by his eyes because that's really what kind of emphasizes what something is. Here, but it's light color on his nose right here. Okay, so you build this up in steps. Just don't get in a hurry to paint this. Don't just slap paint on here. Kind of analyze, the layers that you're going to build up. Okay, so if I wanted to go even smaller on that, see, is this a smaller brush? Oh, I have that smaller. That's tiny.
I see that Andrew's in the house.
Hi, Andrew. Hope you're doing well. All right, so let's take a little bit of this white now. Just kind of got a little bit of red in it. I'm going to do another coat of that on here. See, this is the next coat. It's not quite white. Do you see that's kind of an off-white, like vanilla ice cream? Okay.
That looks like French vanilla.
Like French vanilla, yeah. Okay, let's just put a little of that. Come all the way around here like this. And it'd be fun to know the history of his dogs and where he, because I think a lot of this artist was so awesome at painting dogs. I mean, he did some other things too, which I didn't think he excelled at, but he excelled. He was like the master of dogs. In my opinion, he just really was. Now we're going to find a little larger brush. This is probably the 3/8 inch one you were thinking about, right? And so I've got kind of, those are sort of cemented in. So all right, so let's start with a little bit of burnt umber and a little white. Okay, a little more burnt umber, probably more burnt umber than that. Let's just come in here like that. Ooh, just you come over here. Just right here, this little layer of lighter brown right here, okay? A little bit of lighter brown here. And I think I see a little bit of that up here. Okay, that was the lightest color, okay? And let's do a little more of that color right here around his nose. Let's give this a second coat on his nose. Okay. And now I'm going to go right into white and yellow oxide, okay? And I'm going to say that coming right down from here. So I want you to see that there's a little line that's coming right next to this one, okay? And there's this coming right under his eye. The brush is flat, and then you just lift up, and I'll let the brush do some of the fur for you. Okay, and the same thing on this side. Let the brush do some of the fur for you. Just push and lift up. It's kind of almost a twist and lift, right? And as you come on down, you'll notice that I'm spinning it. And these angle brushes are absolutely ideal for this because they allow you to spin the brush and then come down and do some very fine detail work. So you can come down around here. If I get the, for me the main thing is get that face. Get the face. If I got too much paint, I'm going to come up around here and do this. If I get too much paint on the brush, I'll just do something like this. These are little shorter brush strokes right here that overlap that. And these are just shorter. Here like that, a little bit of white. Come up this way. These are all individual. This is very similar to the cat that we did on YouTube. We did a cat on YouTube that's very similar to this. And I think we sold the picture of that cat, or I'd show it to you. I don't have that anymore, that cat. But we painted a cat in exactly the same way as this.
What cat was that one?
You know, the one, it was a dark cat and a midnight cat, and it had these.
Oh, yeah.
And again, we sold the painting for it, but that tutorial's on YouTube, and you do the cat the same way. Now look, see, I'm into the golds now. Generally, you want to start with the darker colors, the darker reds, these kind of gold colors, and you want to lighten them as you go. So that's what I'm doing now, is I'm just putting in these lighter colors, and then as I come down in here, we're just kind of cleaning off the brush in this front part right here, like that. Just sort of cleaning off the brush. Any questions, John? Or painting this?
Nope, not right now.
Okay. So here we go. Now this line right here is important where the ear goes, because it has to curve this way on this part. This has got to do a little curving. That's curving this way, and these are curving that way. So if you've got the curve is key here. So it's like these little curls where his little fur is curving, and this is kind of going out like that. All right, so more burnt sienna yellow oxide. This is our next kind of more golds. And just keep layering the colors, right? And there's no water on the brush. Do you see that brush is damp, but there's no water on him? And I think that if you put water on this, all of this would blend into one big fur ball. And you're going, well, this didn't work for me. It all just become one big, massive. If it starts to blend on you, you stop and dry it. Because you're talking about these little brush strokes that have to happen. And you can't do them any other way. So here's a little bit of white yellow oxide. Let's try a little bit of the Australian sienna, because that's so pretty. Let me just show you that color. See, it's a wonderful gold. So this is coming up now. From this forehead here, he doesn't really have a part. It's just these are coming up this way. And I want some more of this brighter gold color right here. Again, layering it. I'll put some of this down in here like that. And now, ooh, around the nose. See, I'm thinking, where else could I put this color? He's got a little bit of this color under his eye. Right here, like that. And he's got a little dark color, a little ultramarine blue and burnt and cad red medium. Ultramarine blue and cad red medium make an interesting brown color. He's got a dark brown shadow right here under the eye and a little bit across his nose. And then right in between here, this is dark. This is dark. Okay, so you want to see where he's dark. And like, for instance, right under his chin here, this is very dark, almost black in his picture. So really dark. And then as it comes out underneath, it gets a little redder.
So I would like to know when we're going to be in Vancouver. Do you remember?
You'd have to look on the calendar.
Ooh,
we're flying in, and then we leave the very next day. So we're flying in the afternoon. And after 8 hours of...
10 hours.
10 hours of being on an airplane. So I don't know how cheery we'll be, but...
We're always cheery.
Are we cheery?
We're always cheery.
You think we're always cheery?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see,
so,
that should be... Looks like the 14th of September.
Okay. So, we're doing that. So anyway, it occurred to me, I started to tell you a little bit about this tool section. We're going to start a new tool section on our website with just little things like, where you can find, if you can't remember how to do a grid, or if you can't remember how to do a how to trace something on, or how to use transfer paper. We thought that could be very helpful. Yeah. All right, so we're going to back to the little brush. Where'd that go? We want to do a little bit more with the eyes, and I want to actually pull up my original again. Cancel. Not now. I want to cancel. Let's see. I want to pull up my original picture. Oh man, John, it's just doing something horrible. The iPad's doing something horrible. I don't know what it's doing. It's deciding to update. I don't know why it's deciding to update. I'm going to whiten this up a little bit. A couple places.
You don't get them for a while.
He updated?
Mm-hmm. Well, he'll go so long, and if you don't do it, he's going to do it. And he's doing it.
Well, this is not helpful for me.
I'll keep my eye on it. And
all right, here's my black and white, because you can see where I'm going to need this light color right here on his eye right here. Need a little light right here. And right back up in here, right next to this, we want a little bit of a darker red shadow. Little shadow, right? Well, it's not darker red. Right here, we want a little shadow. Right like that. Okay, fine. Do that. Be that way. Gosh, John, that's just not convenient at all. How long am I stuck with that?
probably half hour.
Well, that's just worthless. Just grab my iPad from downstairs. I can use that. I'll just use, we have 2 iPads. We own 2. I'm gonna want it.
What do you want to bring up, the original?
I want the original. I like to look at the original. I can copy mine, but I want to look at the original. When I'm doing it again, I want to look at the original, not that, or I'll use your iPad.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
But I want to look at the original.
I see your conditions of yours.
So, all right, so what do we know for sure, right? Well, we know that we've got some light. This is where the little brush comes in, kind of off-white. We've got some light coming this way off his nose. But you've got to keep this line here, this dark line. You want to keep that. And surprisingly, you can do better with a angle brush than you can with one of those little pointy ones when you're trying to do sharp little lines. In other words, if I'm trying to do a sharp little line here, I've got a better shot at using the angle and bringing this around like that than I would with that little tiny pointy brush. Not so in oils or even in watercolors, but the problem with acrylics, and this is a little bit, don't want it quite that white. Problem with acrylics is that they don't flow as easily, and so they have a tendency to want to drag on you. So if you're finding that to be the case, which you probably are, okay, an angle brush, it has to be stiff enough. A lot of times, I would say one of the biggest difficulties people have when learning to paint with acrylics is they don't get the right brush. And here's the thing, these brush manufacturers, all of them, want to sell as many brushes as they can. So they'll say, good for oil, acrylics, or watercolor. And they'll do that on their medias. The media paper, good for all media. Well, it isn't good for all media, and it isn't good for, a brush that's really good for oils probably is a terrible acrylic brush, generally. It's just probably, in my opinion, let's say it that way. But my experience has been that that's really true, right? So, so when you find that, so for instance, when you're looking at, sometimes it's nice to get a tablet to do small little 8x10s on. Thank you so much. John found him for me. Thank you.
If there's any paint on that iPad.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, what do you mean, yeah?
No paint on the iPad. Yeah. So, now I've got confused. I really had a good thought here, but I forget what it was now.
You were talking about the brush and the paint.
I'm starting to put my color on. Yeah. So if you somehow ended up with because you were sold a bill of goods, you somehow ended up, no pun intended, you somehow ended up with a tablet and it said good for all media, and it's paper. It would be probably fine for watercolor, and if you were using acrylic like watercolor, so they didn't exactly lie. They just, if you're trying to do this style of painting or more of the oil painting techniques, you're going to struggle. So what you want to do is to this is key here. What you want to do is to use like a GAC 100 from Golden or a Liquitex gloss medium and varnish, and do a coat of that on the paper. Let that dry completely, and then paint, and you'll be ever so much happier. All right, so this line comes right under the eye like this. This comes right under his eye. There's a little tiny dark line between the white and this that comes right under. This is coming this way. Then the top of this is coming over this way like this. See? So now we're starting to fill in more of his hair. Here we go. Like that.
Girls, go ahead and, or moderators, go ahead and post the giveaway link for tonight. See, we had a couple donations come in.
Okay.
We'd like to thank Andrew for his donation.
Oh, thank you, Andrew. That's awesome.
Have an amazing trip. We'll be and following you along.
Yeah, I'm really pleased. Thank you very much, Andrew. And I hope that you guys really do follow us along, and make sure that you're opening the newsletters. How many did we send out, John? Of all of you who said you wanted,
about 6,000.
We sent 6,000 people swore they wanted our newsletter. And how many people opened them?
2,000.
2,000. So
So what we're going to do after the trip, anybody that has not opened an email will be removed from our email list. So they'll have to you can always rejoin up, but we pay to have these people in there, and if you're not going to read them, we don't need to have you.
It's not
a hard feeling.
We're not upset. We're just saying if you don't want, I can't tell you how many emails I unsubscribe to, so it doesn't hurt my feelings. But if you're on our list and you want to answer the, if you want to ask us to send you updates and stuff, it's nice to. It's good to watch the email. That's all I'm saying. Just watch the emails.
It's good to watch them. We'd like to thank. I think it's Selpie for the donation, and with her donation, we'll be able to give away two 30-day membership to the Acrylic
Academy. Yeah. And we had one gal, which I want to just congratulate so much. I'd like to, John, I'm going to tell you what, I'd like to extend the membership to one of our winners from before. And here's why. She logged on 2 or 3 times every day for the whole month she had it. I never saw anybody that used it more.
That would be Miss Blue.
Yeah, Linda Blue. Linda Blue.
Okay, Linda Blue, you've got yourself another 30 days.
You got she really, really took advantage of this. I felt there was somebody who really was going to take advantage of it, and we appreciate that very much. And I think you all agree with me. Well, that'll be our donation. We'll still give away the 2 others, but that'll be our donation. Conversely, we've had some other people maybe log on twice. So, I know people are busy and don't use it as much, but boy, when you see somebody that appreciates it that much, well, we're excited about it. We appreciate you. And she took advantage of the personal art coaching, sent it in. And then the other thing is, too, is that you send it in, send it back to me. If I recommend some changes, if you send it back. And I want to thank the people that are doing the art coaching, that take advantage of the personal art coaching. We have a whole list of things you can check. And you can be as anonymous in your art coaching as you want. It's just you and me. No one will ever see it. It's just whatever I tell you, and you take the advice, and you just go on your merry way. And that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with being a private person. But every once in a while, we've added something called you can share my personal art coaching to help others. And what we've been doing with those, right, is for instance, we're having a design class come up when you send us an original piece and you picked a photograph. That would be very helpful for us in our design class. We could use your example. Maybe it's just your photograph. Maybe it was a good photograph to pick. Maybe it was just not the right photograph to pick. And I think real life examples are very helpful. Okay? You guys see how we keep layering this up as we're chatting? So we appreciate everybody that does that. And then sometimes, you've done such an amazing job. We want to shout you out to the world. We're so proud of you because, when I'm talking to a camera, you're out there somewhere. It's like hollering down a rain barrel. We think someone's out there.
We don't know if anybody's out there. This could all be the blue pill or the red pill.
That's it. So for us, right, and this is key, and maybe a little bit for you too, is that for us it's a little bit like that. So when somebody, you know, says, yes, you can share my work with others, then I can give you a big shout out on Facebook maybe. I want to do it, and I would do it if you'd said I could. You know, if I can use your name, but at that point I almost need your full name if I'm going to give you a shout out, right? I'll just do your first name if you just want to be on Pinterest. That's okay. If you want to do a shout out on Facebook, though, I need your Facebook name. You know what I mean? I need that name. So please notice that we keep adding colors as we're talking, and we keep lightening up. You guys see that? As we're doing the layers. So we think that's important too. John's got a great one he's going to show you by one of our members.
Oh,
it's a Wave and Water
I've got to go
Masterclass.
downstairs and get that.
You didn't get it yet?
It didn't come over. I don't know why it didn't come over this morning.
You know, this is a mystery.
Where it did go.
These
So
are
I am going to
mysteries.
have to go downstairs.
Well, okay. You could do that.
Oh, you let me do that? Oh, my queen, I feel so honored.
Okay, so I'm going to do a little bit of light now under
We had
this.
another donation come in from Sue Clark.
Oh, Sue, how are you? I haven't heard from you in a while. Thank you so much.
Hey, she bought a Taz t-shirt. She's our hero.
Oh,
You gotta love
Sue.
Taz. Taz is a great one.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, I'm so excited. Andrew did a marvelous Taz, which I haven't seen back, by the way, Andrew. Just would like the finished one, please, to go up on Facebook. I think
He's
we
been
were
a
going to do.
little busy.
Well, I know, and we're very sorry about that, and I hope everything's, all right. But anyway, we've had maybe, I don't know, 10 at least. I've seen 10 of those done, and they are just whatever I said in that tutorial made sense to all of you, because you've all done a really phenomenal job on that Taz.
And a donation came in from Eric. How do you stop a dog from barking in your front yard?
I give up, Eric. How do you do that?
You put them in the backyard. Oh, Eric.
Oh, Eric, we love you. Let's just say that.
All right, so I'm gonna leave. So she better. I won't see any questions. I won't know what's going on.
Well, it takes him 5 minutes to 5 seconds. No, 3
this
minutes.
is a compound. This is a huge place. Are you kidding me? I've got to go to the next quadrant.
Okay, just quit whining and run. You always want to exercise. I'm going to put a little purple in these eyes, just to give it. Did you know Dazzling Purple has a little bit of a glow to it? Did you know that if you're doing any kind of acrylic painting and you add Dazzling Purple to it, and something seems a bit shiny, that's the Dazzling Purple. So I thought that might be nice to add to the bottom of his eyes right here, and maybe get them a little bit. Let's just do this. Let's just reshape that eye a bit, right? So you see how I'm kind of shaping the eye, and I'm going to keep playing with the nose. That's kind of cool. All right, so we're going to do on the top of that. So anyway, like I say, one of the things that we do when we share the personal art coaching is, like I say, we're designing on this trip. We're finished designing our design class, or how to design paintings from a photograph. Really design, not how to paint. We assume that when you take this class, you will already know how to paint. We're just going to show you what to do with the knowledge. And sometimes it's very nice to be able to use the photograph that you picked out. Because I wouldn't necessarily even think that anybody would pick out a photograph like that. Wouldn't occur to me. I'm going, well, that's a good idea for a photograph. Or, wow, look at that. That wouldn't even something I would pick out, and it might be a great photograph, might not be a great photograph, but it's going to be helpful to everyone. So there you go. So that's what we're doing there. And I'm going to put a little, this is really important. When you're painting this dog from the corner of this eye, get this shadow. When you're tracing him out, make sure there's a couple of lines that you don't want to miss on here, right? There's a very tiny line. That's why you use the dark of the underpainting as your darkest lines, because if you start to lose it, you can get it back. But that's a thin line, and then over here, we're going to do a lighter line. See, right next to there, we'll just kind of keep building up the color on both sides. See, and I'm starting to lighten it up. This is a pretty dog. I hope we had a big debate about what kind of dog was it. That was it. What kind of dog do you think this is? And someone said a shitzu, and someone said something else. And it just might be a mutt, but it might be probably, I don't know what kind of dog this is. But I keep adding the colors here as we go. And now right next to his muzzle here, like this, we need some smaller hairs coming this way. See, just on the edge of that angle brush. And you can do that with an angle brush. I started to tell you that about brushes, that the chances are, if you're struggling with acrylic painting, nothing's working, the first thing you want to do is buy a good brush. You know, that will make it, and there are definitely brushes that work better for acrylics. My daughter, the Cinnamon Cooney, who's the art Sherpa, she has a whole line of brushes that are just specifically, and they did a lot of research on those to get those. They're by the same silver brush company that makes these. And for instance, one of the ones that I really particularly like is this this dagger brush. This is a great brush, Bristol on dagger brush. I love this brush, and it's really good for tiny little thin lines. I might show that later, but that's a really, really good brush. I don't know where John disappeared to. He just left, you know. Here, it's all right. He just had to go downstairs. Gee, here he goes. Comes back.
Did I
wow,
miss anything?
Went to Siberia. I don't know. Well, they might just.
Well, you know, I checked where we normally download things. I don't believe you sent it to me this morning, because I was in the kitchen when you said you wanted to do it.
I sent it to him.
No, you didn't.
Well, all right.
That's all right. I went in and I got it.
Did you?
I am persistent.
How'd you get it?
I went into the ticket system, brought up her name, and downloaded it.
Oh, wow.
You know,
gosh.
I am
Guess we all got
authorized to
told,
do that.
right? Yeah, okay, good for you. All right, so I've got a little bit of white one coming here. There's a little light line coming right there. And there's a little dot of white in the corner. And a little dot of white up here. And a little dot
Hope
right
I didn't
there.
miss any questions that were important.
You know, I hope not. I hope you didn't.
Well, I did notice some people had questions. They did not get the newsletter that went out this morning. Please use the contact us, and I will look to make sure that you are in the list. And I can do a screenshot if it did indeed go out. You want to add Ginger Cook Live, or do a search for Ginger Cook Live, all one word, in your email program and see if you can find it. Our email that we send out under is gingercooklive@gingercooklive.com. If you add that to your contact list, the odds are in your favor to get us.
Yeah. Makes total sense, yes?
Does it really to you?
Yeah, it does. Did you notice I add a little, his eyes are a little red. I'm not sure I'd give this one to the vet with the red eyes. Probably not a good sign, but maybe. You know, this dog was done, you know, a long time ago. Here's a little bit of red in this eye, and then there's a little bit of dark right next to it, next to this little line right here. There's this little piece of fur here, and there's a dark line right next to it. So there's a definite expression on this little Animale's face, and pull some fur going out this way. I'm pushing very gently on the brush. I'm just barely touching this brush when I do this. And I want you to notice, take a black and white photo of the dog like this. Get a black and white and notice what has to stay dark. Let me show you this one here because we didn't draw on it. These lines here around his face, this one across, these lines of expression are ones you absolutely want to leave on. Make sure that you have that. You may want to print out two, one for tracing and then one to just use as a comparison of how dark you want to make it, because you definitely want to do that. And I got this a little bit close here.
Okay, I got that one ready, and I've also got the Sir Edwin's original, his masterpiece.
Oh, this will be exciting. So I'm about ready to dry this. I'm just doing another coat on his nose here, and ultramarine blue and burnt umber make it as close as I can get to black without doing black. I'm going to bring this down a little bit like that. There you go. And all right, so let's do a quick dry on him and we'll keep going, okay? You could let's see, where did my hairdryer go?
It's down at your feet.
Is it?
Uh-huh. And now you kicked it further.
There's a cord here.
You're probably running over it.
I am. I'll need, well.
You're going to have to run.
Huh? I don't know, John. I can't get the hairdryer. Just never mind. I'll just do something else. Just can't get it.
Oh, whoa. Oh, my queen.
Can't get the hairdryer. It's gone.
Oh, no. We can't have that, my queen. I am
stuck
here for
under the
you, my
chair.
queen. I am here for you. Not to be alarmed.
I'm alarmed.
Could you at least put his foot up so I can get that piece out?
There you go. Got it? Yes.
I'm well on my way, my queen.
Oh, he's working at it, right? It's all under the chair, tangled up in one long cord.
And we don't know how that would have happened.
I don't know how it happens. Who knows how these things happen? We've been filming videos till midnight or 2 in the morning every night for a month. So, you know, if we all seem a little punchy, we're sorry. Ooh, I hear something going dry. All right, so let John get back there. Yay, thank you, John. Thank you, thank you. I'm going to keep going with this, these colors here. I want a little bit of just a little darker right up here. Okay, and then I want to dry those eyes and kind of work on this just a bit more, but we're pretty close. Okay, drying. Ready? No? Yes? Do I need to answer something before we dry?
Well, there's one right here. That,
what?
have you ever used Liquitex Gloss Medium Varnish as a medium? I have struggled with knowing how to use it. It's multiple use medium. Varnish, yes. Medium, yes. All in one product? Question mark.
It can be. It can be. They have a Liquitex varnish, which is not, but the medium is a little thicker. The varnish is very thin, like water. When they say Liquitex, like, you know, they have gloss, medium, and varnish, and gloss varnish is very thin, and medium has, you know, is thicker. And did you know if you over varnish something with it, you keep going over back and forth, it'll turn white on you?
Eventually.
Yeah, it can. So you have to be kind of careful with that. You can add a little bit of that to your paint, and that, but it's not as good a retarder as, say, Golden's glazing medium. For me, in other words, I've not found it as effective. How's that? You have to be so careful what you say. I have personally not found that as effective. Okay, I was going to dry this.
These are real.
And
okay,
then you were
going to
do
anything? Is this a long dry or short dry?
Just short dry, like really short. You want to show them? Do we have our short one?
I'm going to bring Jamie's over. I'm going to show Jamie's picture.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah, short dry.
Okay. All right. While she's drying, this is one of our members in the Academy, and this was In the Wave and Water, Heartbreak at Sea. This is one of the best ones we have ever seen come in. Did a fantastic job on it. She sent it in for personal art coaching, and we just had a few minor changes, really minor, and it looks like she made those changes. So this is somebody that's been with us for a while and has really taken to the personal art coaching where you get one-on-one help directly from Ginger. She does videos for you and explains exactly what needs to be done to make any corrections. You're not back yet, but your voice is. If you'd like to say anything about Jamie's before I make it disappear.
Yeah, the only thing that, you know, I had told her to do was to lighten up the boat a little bit, the little lifeboat, in which she did. But I think she did a great job on that. And that's one of our ultimate lessons as far as the Wave and Water Masterclass goes. We don't recommend that when you're taking the Masterclass, that's the first one you start with. And she did she did a terrific job on that. And we just wanted to give her a big shout out, right? So great. And she was so nice to say that we could use her video pack for others, except there was nothing to say. Thank you, though. You know, sometimes
it does help other people though when we can use your pack. If it's, you know, when Ginger does the personal art coach, some of those she spends literally an hour on.
Yeah, and then
or more.
And I find myself certain pictures. I'm saying the same things over and over again to people. You know what I mean? That just, it seems to be I needed a little bit of dark up here on his eye. Yeah, it just needed to come around here, and I wasn't quite getting that right like that. See, because you want to, yeah, so anyway, yeah, so that's very, very helpful. And to be able to do that. Now, this is a little dark right here, so I'm going to lighten up that dark line. I want it here, but not as dark as that. That one is darker. Let's put a little ultramarine blue and brown together. You get some different kind of gray browns going. The darkest is right next to the eye here. Right next to this eye is the darkest part right there. And then as it goes across the nose, it's lighter. I know this is sort of detail, but it kind of can make a difference when you're painting it in. So then one of the things he did that was really nifty was he took the brush and he did 3 like dashes, like Morse code across the top of the nose like that. which was I thought was clever. And he's got this little white dot here and a little tiny dot in each eye. Okay, and I think that I want to take a little bit of blue and brown, a little white maybe, and I'm going to do a little bit of light under this eye here. Just bring this down like that. A little bit of blue in this eye. Let's see, I want it a little bit darker than that. Maybe we'll do burnt sienna and white instead of blue.
We'll be doing a drawing here very shortly, so be sure to get your entries in if you'd like to partake in the giveaway of the downloadable lesson and the Art Academy.
Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and make the eye darker again. So I have that little tiny bit of light. You want a little tiny bit of light under the bottom of the eye. And I want that, let's get a little purple going here. I want the eye, mostly it's very dark, but there's just on the very bottom, there's this little tiny bit of light here, and we'll just do that. Right, like that. If the dog was bigger, it'd be a little easier to do. And I want to make sure I haven't lost the white under the eye. A lot of times when you're painting these things, when it's this small, you can lose the light. So there we go. So I'm going to make sure that the eyes are everything, you guys. You got to get those eyes. Okay, so we're going to come up here with a little burnt sienna right under the mouth here like that, and bring that over, and then take some white here and this, just kind of blend that out. There you go. Here's his mouth, and then this goes this way. The brush, look at this, is going that way. Does that make sense? This is going that way, this is going that way. You want to make sure your brush strokes are kind of in a good direction. And just get a little bit of gold back up in here, kind of the off-white. Here we go, up here. Now we're going to start with a bigger brush and some light colors. So we're going to change brushes now. I'm going to dampen it, and I'm going to use this brush, which is my 5/8 inch, okay? And now we're going to start getting the overall body of the dog. Does that make sense?
It does.
So I want a little bit bigger brush strokes now. I'm just going to start laying some light on top of some of this, right here on the top. He's lightest on the top of his head, right this.
We have our first winner.
Okay. He's lighter right here, and I want it a little bit of yellow oxide and white, or rather Australian, that's Santa color. I want this to be a little golder right here, down here. A little bit of cad red medium and yellow, like a little bit of orange and burnt sienna. Let's try that. So I want this to be a little darker here.
Zoe Gilman, winner of a 1-credit downloadable lesson.
So what is what mean by 1 credit, John, when you say somebody want to win credit? I don't even know what that means. What does that mean, John? Explain what that means.
In our downloadable website, gingercookondemand.com, we have a lot of the lessons are categorized by 1 credit, 2 credit, 3 credit, 4 credit, and upwards.
Okay.
And it has to do with the complexity of the lessons, and some people will buy credits because they're going to buy, if you buy credits ahead of time, which we're just getting ready to release, we have several people that have been testing it for us, and they would then purchase their lessons using the credits.
Yeah, that's kind of neat, isn't it? I mean, to be able to do that. And I got a little yellow on that.
It's more of a discount when you do it that way.
Yeah, when you buy the credit. You can buy just buy the credits and buy everything. And so 1 credit has a value of what to what?
1 credit is usually up to about a $50 lesson.
Okay.
Up to a $50 retail
So
lesson.
from $5 to $50, from $5 to $50, right?
Or 4 and 5 credits, or like $150 to $200 credits, or $200 lessons.
Okay, now
those are your bigger, more complex. A lot of the wave and water will fall under those categories because of the complexity of those
Some
lessons.
of our lessons are 6-8 hours. I mean,
Yeah.
some of them are really complicated. I've got a little purple and white on the brush now.
Zoe Gilman is doing a happy dance.
Oh, good for you. It's fun. It's fun because then the thing about a downloadable lesson, which is kind of neat, is you can, I'm doing a little purple here instead of gray. It's kind of pretty. He had a little purple in this dog. It was interesting. Not pure purple. It's almost like a grayed yellow purple.
I'm going to mix it up a little bit, and we're going to do one of the 30 days next.
Okay.
So if you want to be part of a possible Academy lesson for 30 days with personal art coaching, enter now.
Yeah, and I want to do a little bit of burnt sienna here and bring some of that back out. Start here and lift it up, and then wipe the brush off. And when you're doing, here's a trick, when you're doing something from light to dark, you would start from the light and go to the dark and lift up. But from dark to light, if you're starting, say, let's say I want something really dark here, right? Like under his chin, I'm going dark here, then I would lift up. Then I'd have to wipe the brush because I'm picking up the light paint. Does that make sense? So if you start to pick up the light paint, I'm just twisting the brush up here like this. So that's his dark, and then I want the dark around he's got like a line around his ears. It literally is a line around his ears of dark. And just putting that in there like that. See, it's very dark right here around his ears, and it's very dark right there. He's got a little dark under his chin. There you go. So, I mean, he's definitely got this area, and then when you get to this part right here, it's a little bit more reddish brown. And when that dries a little bit, I'll put some light over it. So
I think I'm liking this guy better than the first one.
Well, you know, and every time you paint him, you're going to do something a little different. One thing I did notice is I'm sort of out of burnt sienna. I think I'll put some closer to my burnt umber, because I want to just give my background another coat, maybe a little ultramarine blue. I'm just going to give it another little coat so that when you can come back here, if you know what your background color is, see, I can come in here like this, and you can go into the fur doing this, which is as effective as the other way. Does that make sense? And I think I want this a little darker blue, and ultramarine blue and burnt umber make a really nice dark background. And again, you can kind of do a little of this.
This is definitely an ungroomed poodle.
That's what?
It's an ungroomed poodle.
Do you think that's what it is?
I think it's Oskar. I think he's cute.
I wonder if ungroomed poodle. Well,
you only need to enter once.
I wonder if they probably had scissors, so they probably clipped poodles back then too, don't you think?
Oh, I'm sure they did. Yeah, you've seen some of the old paintings where they're all dolled up.
Yeah. All right, so then I'm going to take some of this light
all
here,
frou-frou.
Same brush, and just have some little bit of this light color back here on his ears, and then this fluff just going to go up like this.
Renette would like a turquoise fronted parrot.
Oh, wait till you see what we got. Renette. There, look, see how I'm dry brushing in some light here? Just like that.
I think you guys are going to be really pleased with our next 2 months of lineups.
Wait till you see what we're painting. Do you have the parrot, John? Anywhere handy you could show him?
He is over being photographed.
Too bad. You missed
In the other side of the complex, my queen. Would you like me to travel across the moat once more? I would do it in a heartbeat, my queen.
You guys want him to show you the parrot that's coming up?
You guys want to see the parrot? Say, yeah, let's get rid of John again. We can talk about him.
Okay.
Oh, I'm going to do another drawing. Here I go.
All right, do another drawing, John. Let's not get distracted. Here we go. A little bit of light right here.
This is for the 30-day with the personal art coaching from the Queen of Color.
Okay, so he's coming up here like this. We need a little more light up here in the top of his head. See, and then you can take this brush and push and lift up, and you see how it wants to just do that for you. There you go. It's just a little bit more. And when you're painting your dog portraits for your customers, or for your family members, or for yourself, the key thing is get those eyes, all right? Because we know we've got something here, but we've got another light one coming here. We've got something coming here. Get a few key things that really remind you of that dog. That's really, you don't have to overwork it. Just get something that kind of reminds you of them. And really, because you can have all kinds of breeds of dogs, and people who've owned dogs will all tell you that they're all different. This fur is kind of going this way, okay? Here he is.
Cynthia Thompson is the winner of a 30-day membership in the Art Academy with personal art coaching.
Wow, that's great. Now, you guys, you got to give us. It's going to take us 2 days to get to China. We leave tomorrow night. So when you send it in,
Let's
go
have
ahead.
patience,
Just go
please.
ahead and send. Don't wait to send it in. Send it in so you can be first in the queue, so to speak. But be sure to just give me a break here on. Somebody wrote me today, and she's a good friend too. And I'm going to go, really, honestly, what was the email we got from her today? How I've known for like 10 years.
Where's my pack?
Are you not doing art
are you
coaching
not doing
anymore?
originals anymore?
I thought that's what you guys were doing. I mean, I did her personal art
Within 20
within
minutes.
5 minutes of when it showed up. I did it because she's a good friend, and I just did it as a favor. And
She used to take personal art lessons.
And yeah, she took art lessons from me in person for years. So I just did this favor. I got this pack done for her immediately, and it was a long pack too, with all kinds of amazing explanations on what she needed to do to fix it. And I sent it back, and I got to tell you, I was just a little shocked to hear this from her. That, are you guys not doing that anymore, right? And, because I'm a telephone call away, she doesn't live but 15 minutes from my house. Because something can be written in the nicest intended way, and in emails you don't get the inflection. She may have been trying to be funny, and it just didn't come off funny, right? So anyway, it turned out that she had screwed up her email address, and she hadn't ever opened it. Of course, the pack was there. She just couldn't remember what email she was using for the academy. Yes and yes.
Oh, my. The alligators were terrible in the moat, my dear.
Did you get it?
But I survived it.
Okay.
I also brought the waving water.
Oh yes, the
canal.
The newest one, right? Well, the canal. But where's Bruges? You got Bruges? Because that's the one that's this week, and then the violins this week too, right?
No, we have the thing doing Friday. This is what you're getting now. I'm not going across the moat again. The alligators are terrible.
Okay, this is what you're going to get. Do you see how he's coming alive, you guys?
Is that Bruges over there? Oh, we already released Bruges.
Yeah, but some people haven't seen it.
Why haven't they seen it? They go to the academy.
Because we never showed it on YouTube.
These people really need to stay up with us. We can barely keep up with us.
I know, so you can't blame anybody else. We're barely doing it ourselves, right? Just, that's
This is from one of my photographs.
Yeah. That just, there we go. So, the Wave and Water Masterclass.
Don't be putting anything out there, my queen.
I'll put it out in a second. Do you see how this dog coming together, by the way? Do you guys see how he's coming together? And it's just one little brush stroke at a time, and you're just sort of, you can kind of see that, right?
Oh, I definitely like the new one better.
And, he did have these cute little kind of red eyes in a couple of places. Not the whole thing, like a couple drops of a little bit of red under the eye here in a couple of places. Just, it was cute. And he had that little bit of white here under his nose. Like there's a little tiny highlight on the bottom of his nostril right there.
Jules would like to know if I'm getting my steps in tonight. Jules, if you happen to know, I have an Apple Watch and my rings are closing fast.
Oh, bragging again. Huh, must be nice.
Yeah, just calling them like I see them, my queen. All right, I'm ready to show something.
All right, we're going to show the parrot.
Oh, the parrot, people, because I had to cross the moot for the parrot.
Parrot. We're going to show the parrot real quick because
we can.
Because we can. Isn't he wonderful? Isn't she wonderful? Polly the parrot. This is an academy lesson coming up in
the next 2 months.
Within the next 2 months, and then
you have to watch
Friday to see the Friday show to see when you're going to get him. But there's
Friday has all the dates and everything.
It's a one cookie or introductory lesson with a traceable to make it easier to put on. And for somebody like Eric who might do this really huge, or Andrew, just blow him up, and he'd be gorgeous, like 30 by 40.
Oh yeah.
So he'd be really pretty big.
She would be. That's Polly.
Particularly if you live in tropical climates like Andrew and Eric
Polly
do.
the pirate parrot.
Yeah. So there's that one, and then we have. Remember, we've been talking about our Wave and Water Masterclass. The idea is you don't have to be a master artist to take the course, but because we do a new video every month. But if you paint enough different kinds of water, and believe me, there's a ton of different ways to paint water, eventually you're going to come up with kind of like your handwriting for water, and that's why it's good practice. It's like doing scales on the piano. It's good practice to follow along on how someone else does it and try to do what they did and then see how it comes out for you. Here is our painting of Bruges. And John and I were in Belgium this year. Regine took us around and gave us some really nice, it's Regine, right?
Yes.
Took us around and you know, wonderful little town, very, very old in Belgium. And we took a canal ride, and this is from one of the photographs that John was able to take. And in this particular video, if you're a Wavewater Masterclass person and have not seen this, we show you how to edit a video, edit a photograph, what you have to change, and painting design, and how to create a center of interest. There's a lot involved with this. So I would suggest any of my Wave and Water members watch it anyway, even if you're not going to paint it, because there's a lot of information on what to do with photographs in this one.
Yeah, little tidbits in that one.
And then finally, for the next month, it's coming up, we have Venice in the Wave and Water Masterclass. And this was from another one of our Old Dead guys. Love it. He was, you'll learn more about this one. Artist we've never done before. Love this one. Think he's going to be great. Again, totally different way to paint water than some of the others. So that's kind of a preview. The whole preview is coming up on Friday. You'll get the whole thing.
That's this Friday, 7:30 Central Time. We're not sure who's going to be moderating it, but in the worst case, it'll be a play.
You know, we're doing a premiere. We're going to call it a premiere.
It's called a live premiere where we're not actually physically there.
Yeah, we chat right along with you, and we can talk about our trip and maybe tell you what we've been doing. That'll be fun. All right, so you see I'm adding the next little bit of lights on the head. You see I'm just adding a little more light on the head now. Acrylics dry darker, so now I'm just seeing where I have to add a few more lights. But I feel like he's getting pretty close to being finished. What do you guys think?
Oh, I think I need to do another drawing.
You need to do another drawing. I'm going to do a few more details here like this.
All right, go for a downloadable lesson this time. Oops, where's my... I use random.org to help me generate the numbers.
Yeah, we used to ask who, can't be named, because otherwise she starts talking, to do it, and that was not helpful. Now I'm doing a little more detail around the nose here. See, right around the nose here. Now I'm going around this side of the nose.
Whoopsie.
So sort of, kind of, there you go. And getting it a little bit lighter right here. See, what you need to do then at this point is start putting in your lights and your darks. And like there was almost white right there by his eye, and there's just certain little bits of light color that are just, if you really look close at it, you'll see where sometimes there's just little bits of light that are just in certain places. And that can be very effective. I'm going to lighten this up here too. And now I'm just doing detail and fiddling with him. Show you how we painted him in. And maybe have a few little loose hairs coming out this way.
Nell would like to know, how would you paint him smiling?
You'd find a picture of a dog smiling and do that mouth.
Substitute it.
Yeah, you would do that mouth.
You have to do the mouth, you have to change the eyes. I mean, the
You'd
eyes
have to change the mouth. You can't have a dog smiling and have eyes like this. This is the dog, friend. Go get a good photograph of a dog that's smiling, and you'd paint him the same way, though. You would need to then do a little bit of research and see his mouth actually comes down and goes up.
Carol Schultz is a winner of our 1-credit downloadable lesson. We have one more 30-day Academy giveaway.
I'm going to round the nose up here too. This is round. You see this? This line right here is not going straight back. It's rounded right there on top of the nose.
Be sure to enter in the next few moments.
Yeah, so we got another one coming away. Be sure to enter. I'll just sit here and fiddle with this for just a little bit, if you guys don't mind, because I think that's what sometimes is needed when you're doing the last little details.
We do want to show
something.
Edwin's masterpiece. The
whole,
kit and caboodle,
you guys.
gang.
Yeah, let me just show you that. This is something that's coming up in our.
Oh, you're going to show something. Okay, wait. Let me just do Edwin real quick.
Yeah, let me dry this while you're doing that.
Okay, you dry. I'll do Edwin. All right, here is the original. I called it Oskar, the one we have right now. This is the final picture or painting that Sir Edwin Landseer did, and you can see that took Oskar and made him a little bit happier. He looks like he's a judge. Somebody said what the original name is. I'm not sure offhand. I can't get to it, I don't think, to see what it is right now, but that is the original painting, and this was his sketch of the main dog that he worked out before he actually did this painting to make sure that he had everything how he wanted it. So that's what you've got there. Hey, we appreciate everybody that made donations tonight. You make it all possible to help us help others, let them experience the Academy and some of our downloadable lessons. The downloadable lesson library is being expanded. The website's being updated as we speak. And there's going to be a lot more lessons for the holiday, and that membership where you can buy credits ahead of time will be implemented as well. Ooh, big word, implemented, huh?
Well, we'll have probably some gift certificates people could buy for friends for Christmas. Maybe you want to give somebody a credit.
Can't see the dog's head is chopped off, and then it's your screen I'm thinking. Can't turn the volume down on the dryer.
Oh, we got a lot of complaints, don't we?
Oh, we do. Everybody wants something.
Who's
Oh,
whining
wait,
now?
somebody wants a correction on the painting.
Okay.
Ginger, can you please remove the light stroke in the dark area under the doggy's chin? I think you already did it then. Is there some? I'm not seeing anything.
I don't know. There might be something dark right there.
All right.
Let's
The
see.
highlight stroke is driving my husband bonkers. Have him not look.
Don't put it in yours.
Chester says he likes it.
Okay.
Not sure what it is, but thank you.
Kind of come across his nose a little bit like
If
this.
you're experiencing blurriness, I would check your speed. Your speed might have dropped down, your resolution. That's the little gear in the lower right corner when you move your mousey over. If you're not in HD, then you're not getting it. We transmit at 1080p, the highest HD quality.
Yeah, and spent a lot of money being able to do that. If you had any clue how much money it costs to be able to film at this resolution,
That's why I'm no longer on
and
the
this
camera,
quality,
because we lost the card.
Yeah, John's no longer on the camera because we lost one of our cards, and it's just when we get our coins back up, we'll buy it again.
That'll be next year.
Next year, you may see John again. We'd rather travel.
This is a standard poodle for sure. Really? I had a poodle, but I don't know if he was a standard.
They call them a standard because those are the tall ones. I guess the only poodles I've ever seen that were big like this were all groomed, right?
Yeah, all frou-frou.
I've never seen one. They're cuter like this.
Apparently you fixed it. The husband
But
says thanks.
They apparently, well, I think they're cuter. To me, they're cuter like this. But I bet
I
they're
like
a
them
mess.
like this.
But I bet they're a mess. I mean, you have to comb this hair up. But one thing I understand about poodles is that what makes them unique dogs is there's no smell.
Yeah.
You know how dogs have this dog smell?
Yeah.
And poodles do not.
Why is that?
I don't know. I bet we have some dog people that could tell us, but I have no idea why. But that appeals to me no end, right?
Supposedly a Landseer was looking at this poodle and he began to think of the judges and barristers in the British tradition. I think he did a good job.
Yeah.
On the final. I like Oskar myself.
I just think he's
He's
fun.
my kind of guy.
I think he was fun, and I want to show you Tricks,
you
the
see
painting.
Tricks,
I got to show you the one that we've got for the Academy. That's just huge. That's so pretty, and
Barbara Z's dog does not smell. I think that's great, Barbara.
but some dogs do. Now either you bathe them all the time, but you know some dogs, there's a dog smell that comes with them unless they're groomed all the time.
Or taken care of.
Or taken care of. Well, I mean anything. That's just gonna. Now we're gonna start doing a
Linda
little
Harvey also
gingerism.
had a poodle that didn't look like that. Mine didn't look like that either.
Well, I think there's different kinds.
There's thousands of
Did you
poodles.
know in old England back in those days, one of their hobbies was flowers, and the idea was to put something in your garden that your neighbors couldn't get, and so explorers would be the National Geographic Society, whatever, would be over there, and they would bring back plants that were in great demand. People would want to put them in their yard and say, well, I've got this and you don't, and garden clubs and all that stuff, and they're still big on garden clubs over there, right? They're just putting a little this purple here, just, you know, we have to have a little color here, you know, on our dog here like that. So, kind of tone down the yellow, but he's kind of cute. I think he's kind of cute. And that there were some plants didn't make it. In other words, there are pictures of flowers that we no longer have. And there's I'm sure that they have said if you put different breeds of dogs in a say a big stadium and left them there for 10 years, they'd all be the same dog, kind of thing. You'd have just one kind of dog. I mean,
we
that's
don't want to do that, then, do we?
I don't know why you'd want to, but I mean,
No.
so who knows if this
variety is the spice of life. Come on.
But I'm saying that maybe this dog doesn't, this exact dog, there's something kind of close, but maybe he doesn't exactly exist anymore.
Well, let's hope that's not the case.
But
I like Oskar.
I like
Okay,
him.
we're going to be doing the last drawing for the last 30 days. This is your last 30 seconds to get in. Like how I tied that all together.
Yes. See,
30,
I'm going
30,
in with
30.
a little white here, just kind of, see what I've just sort of, this ear is darker. There's not a lot of white on this ear. And, but there's this little bit of white right here on the side of his head. See how we keep building that up here? A little bit of light right there. And we kind of get him to, a little bit more under his chin here like that. Like that, and just under here. Let's fix his nose.
Well, I hope you all enjoyed Oskar. Please do join us over our travels as we're doing live premieres on Monday, 7:30 p.m. Central Time.
I want to show him tricks.
Yep. I'm just waiting until you get ready.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you look at these, I think I'm very close to before I do that.
He's better.
I think this is the second one, but I think he's, if you look at, what is it, like this and this, is that how you like it? You can kind of see the two of them.
Yes. He's not a smush head. See, the first one, you smushed his head down more.
Yeah.
This is definitely better.
Okay. Well, see? So it never hurts to do a study of something, kind of, lay it out, see how you do.
Work out the colors and everything. Design.
All right. This is...
Wait a minute. I got to shrink the palette
John's
down.
got it way back here for you to see this.
I got to go to the Wayback Machine.
This is the Wayback Machine. And before,
Okay.
All right. So this is by the same original artist that
Edwin Lincia.
And this is a Trix the Card Dog.
Trickster the Card Dog.
Trickster the Card Dog. And I love this painting. It's just part of this painting. Well, John and I will never sell this. It'll be part of our personal collection. I love it with the cards and the dog and all of that. I just very, very much like this dog. And again, 18 by 24, another big ultimate lesson.
6.5 hours later.
Yeah, but this week for the Wave and Water, for our VLL class, it's the violin, yeah?
It is a violin.
Yeah.
No, I'm not crossing the mode again.
All right, it's the violin, so you guys look for that. The violin, the big 18 by 20, it's another ultimate lesson. We try to vary it from side to side. So if you guys are into animals and you like this, remember we have a puppy in a basket.
What was that guy called?
And a puppy in a basket, and that's on YouTube.
That's what it's called?
Yeah, puppy in a basket. There he is, and that's a YouTube lesson. If you're enjoying painting, if you like painting dogs, we have so many lessons on YouTube in the Academy. It's puppy in a basket. We've got a couple of we've got another dog painting on YouTube. This is one of another old dead guys, and this was his dog, and it's very interesting because I did it the way he did it, but for me, I would have suggested you focus in on the dog and not have that much.
That's how he did it. I mean,
yeah, that's how he did it. So I feel like I have to be kind of true to that. But to me, I would have done an edit and just had more of the dog and less of the background. But this was, I've forgotten which the old dead guy this was, but that's another YouTube tutorial. But again, you see fluffy dog, right? And probably in the snow. We have this one in our Academy, which is just the eyes of a cat, but we have how to do the eyes, just the eyes on YouTube. And then the complete cat is in the Academy. So those are just some, fun animal pictures. One of my last favorite ones is Wildfire the horse. And I love this. If you like animals, we don't just do flowers. We do all kinds of stuff. I guess that's why I wanted to show you all this stuff, is that people think we just know how to do flowers, and that's just not so.
I think we offer a wide variety.
We try to, because we understand that not everybody wants to do flowers or cars or cats or whatever,
Cars?
right?
Wait a minute. What car do we have? We have the Woody. We
have
need
the Woody.
another car.
Well, we got it. John and I went
stuff.
to Cuba when it was still allowed, and we got some great
Don't get
pictures,
me
photos
started on
of the
that
old
one.
cars. I'm going to take a little bit of white now, come under his eye a little bit now with my Posca pen, and just Just needed. I felt like as small as this was, I felt like I lost a little of the detail. So I'm just putting that back. And you can do that with a Posca pen. You can come along and, do a few little fine
Oscar's on a
lines.
9 by 12 canvas.
And I know I said 8 by 10 earlier, and you could do this 8 by 10.
But I originally she was going to do it 8 by 10, and it was just too tight to really get the details you wanted.
So we just did it larger, but I mean,
bigger.
we just did it larger.
No tractors in barn yet. Now I did get one from Art. Art Thomas did one on the birthday cruise, and he gave it to me.
Yeah, he did. So what did I just do with that pen?
Oh my goodness, I was reading the text, my queen.
You don't know. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and sign. I feel like I think that, did you have any more giveaways? Are we done with that? Do you have one more giveaway?
Oh, no, we do have one more giveaway.
All right. So I'm
giveaway.
signing this.
Here we go. Last call. Here we go.
John's got one more giveaway. If you're wondering, if you're new to our show and you're wondering, these Posca pens, we've had ours for like a couple of years, and I used to go through paint pens forever. They don't dry right away, so if you let this sit there for 10 minutes, it'll be completely dry, or hit it with a hairdryer. Otherwise, you can take a rag and wipe it off. So they're really nice. They come in lots of different colors. They could come in more colors, in my opinion, than they do. But they do come in a lot of different colors, and white and black are probably the ones you would use the most. And they can be very effective when you're trying to, do a little detail. Great for signing your name. Like that. So you just, like, for instance, here's probably a good color for this dog. Or if you were having trouble, like with the nose or something, it's acrylic ink in a pen. So I mean, you could do something like this and just get a little bit of light going on here, if you needed it. And if you didn't like it, you can just wipe it right off. All right. So there, just put the line through there. So that's, those are, again, if you want to know where to get those, I mean, art stores carry them. We suggest Amazon for us, as we're big Amazon shoppers, and we finally did an affiliate store. If you go to gingercooklive.gallery/Amazon, it takes you right to the affiliate store, and then where most of these art supplies can be found. Okay.
We'd like to congratulate Lori Allen, a winner of a 30-day membership in the Art Academy with personal art coaching.
Lori, congratulations. Very nice.
Thank you, moderator, for modding once more. We couldn't do it without you.
Yeah, I think this one's we really got this one. I might do a couple more little tweaks, as long as I'm sitting here looking at the original. That's the fun thing about this, is that, there was like, he had this little line here, and then this was a definite, he had a couple on his ears that were definite lines that I didn't want to miss here. This one kind of waved up here like this. Ooh, way too much water on the brush. Even after I sign it. Did you know you can varnish a painting with acrylic medium and varnish and just keep painting right over it? Oh, here's something you probably don't know. All right, you're in a painting and you're trying to get some detail, and doggone it, the canvas is rough or whatever, and you can't get that detail to save your life.
On what?
I don't care what it is. You're painting something, and you want some detail, and it's not working. The brush is skipping. It's just not working.
Right.
If you will dry everything and then varnish that spot, and dry it, and then paint over it, it becomes very smooth and very easy to paint over. So sometimes if you're on your last little bit of patience because you don't have the detail that you want, and
so that would give you a smoother surface. So if you're fighting the canvas texture, even.
Yes, exactly.
Like you were doing that one time when we did the
the angel. I think the angel and the harp. I couldn't get it.
We spent an entire hour doing the face.
Yeah, because
and we gave, the students got to see you struggle with that and how you made it.
Yes, I'm just kind of give that a little bit of a.
Don't say you're Canadian when you're in China. Not sure why, but.
Oh well, no. Why?
I'm just reading them here.
Okay, all right. Well, we
hope to have videos and pictures as we travel. Again, they will be going through the email system on our Facebook group. If you've not joined the Facebook group, please feel free to do so.
Yeah, we'd love to have you as Facebook.
If one of the moderators could put the Facebook group link up there, it'd be super duper.
Yeah, yeah. Our Facebook club is really a nice place to be, and you can also, you're going to get. Sometimes we do sort of premiere videos. I mean, just little videos of what John and I are doing. You can't believe what the artists are doing. It's a nice place to showcase your art and get few little pats on the back for, your marvelous work too. And I appreciate the fact that you guys are, hanging in there with us. I'm just playing with this
Yes,
ear
because see,
now.
the sanding does help the canvas first, but sometimes if you're trying to get a very small detail, you just can't do it.
If you can't do it, that's one.
That's one way to do it.
Just one. That's just another tool, and that you can do. And I tell people to. Okay, and I'm going to bring this ear down a little bit. I tell people to, when you're looking at, your painting and you're not sure about it, go hold it up in a mirror and look at it. Look at the black and whites. Check your contrast. So this is, we're going to bring this down just a little lower here. There we go. There we go. Just that. There we go. Just a little bit. Need this ear a little bit longer. There we go. I think he's really fun. Don't you think he's fun? I'm just gonna get some. There.
I think he's done.
Yeah, I think he's done too. And he's out here. He's done. There you go, you guys. Oskar. Oskar.
Oscar the doggy.
Oscar, our poodle, I guess. We're gonna call him our standard, our poodle. So.
He's our standard poodle.
He's our standard poodle. So anyway, have a wonderful week, and thanks for being a fan of our art and of our YouTube show. And we appreciate the likes and we appreciate the comments. And I think we had a question at the beginning. We were going to ask people to leave in the comments, right, on the show. Remember that? I said something.
You're supposed to have a. Okay. The whole idea, guys, is we're trying to build our YouTube channel because we seem to be way behind everybody else. And we're not getting enough engagement after the show. You guys are marvelous during the show, but we need to have more engagements, comments, questions, dialogue.
I don't think they care, John.
But they do care. They want to see us succeed because they want these free lessons.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't, this doesn't pay us.
No.
As far as I'm concerned, I would have quit YouTube a long time ago.
I know.
So I'm just saying.
I know. John's really always willing to bail out of YouTube at a moment's notice. It's the first thing he wants to do is bailing
I look
out.
at the bottom line, baby.
I know. So anyway, I guess the question that we have for you is: would you prefer more animal paintings, or do you want more flowers? And we ask this a lot, but.
ODG, if you want to.
ODG, do you want a tutorial just on how to do dog portraits in general? Maybe we'll take a photograph and just show you how to do a dog portrait. Let us know what we can do for you. Thanks for joining us, and watch, and we'll report back on our trip, and hope you're enjoying all the videos we created for you while we're gone.
Remember, Friday, 7:30 p.m. Central. Be sure to watch the live premiere, which is us chatting during the show.
Yeah.
Judy, Sammy, you're up.
Well, you guys, I don't think I can look at another commercial about how to unstop the toilet, or maybe you two can learn to draw. That we have to have those in our video in order to kind of cover some costs. But I thought it would be fun, as long as we were doing it, to put a commercial in for ourselves. So here's the commercial from me to you. I want you to have a wonderful day. I want you to be the artist you can be. I want you to get up in the morning and say, today's the day I'm going to be happier than I was yesterday. This is my commercial, and wishing you the bestest, happiest day of your life. And art hugs from John and I.
I'm a student, I say with glee, of Ginger Cook's Academy. Take your time and do not rush. Use ruby satin, silver brush. Don't use black and mix the green. Learn what blend and grayscale mean. Yes, I hope each day to earn coaching praises as I learn. I'll be an artist, wait and see. Ginger means the world to me.